Today, I'd like to tell you a little story about how meeting the right people at the right times can bring you to something that you're truly passionate about. Also, I'd like to share with you my story, how the thing that I'm passionate about helped me to meet new, interesting people. So, my journey began here in Riga when I graduated from high school, and I was thinking, what do I want to do next? Who do I want to become? And of course, to choose my destiny, I went to this educational fair where local universities, together with universities from abroad, come to present their programs and headhunt students to join their ranks. So after a whole round talking with people over there, I selected for myself a program, engineering program in Netherlands. So my next step was to move to the Netherlands. But back then, that educational fair was my first professional networking event. And I liked it that much that the next time when the fair was organized, I volunteered to come and present my university there. Plus, the university fully covered the expenses traveling back home, so I call it a success. Also, I was from the first weeks in the university, I was already told the importance of building strong professional network and how crucial to start it early on. Of course, in the beginning, my professional network looked more like a school yearbook filled with students and teachers. But who says it's bad? Eventually, everyone's going to go their own way, and then you're going to have a network full of professionals in their own fields. Also, I was quite lucky that I joined the University of Applied Sciences because we were giving a lot of practical projects that were coming directly from the companies. So I had the chance to also meet people from those companies and also show myself to the potential few new employers. And so I'd like to tell you 3 very short stories about how I found my first 3 engineering jobs by leveraging my connections. And each time I learned a different lesson. So the first story is a little bit unrealistic and includes a little bit of luck. So I was working in this restaurant as a part-time dishwasher. And one night when I was returning clean dishes back to the chef, I was passing by through the crowd. And one couple said something to me. They said something in Dutch, and all I could reply, sorry, I don't speak Dutch. What it turned out to be, the woman addressed me and she said, oh, you look so cute. You would look great with my daughter. Okay. While I was trying to comprehend that and reply something back to her, the man started the thinking process, and he thought, okay, a young man speaking only English in the middle of nowhere, so what does he do here? So most likely he's a student. What does he study? What English program we have here around? And he asked me, are you an engineer? So a few sentences later, he invited me for an interview to join his computer vision company. So it was a small company. I worked there for almost a year. But nevertheless, I learned my first lesson. Always be ready, polite, and open to new encounters, as they could significantly impact your life. The second story is about my graduation project, my bachelor's graduation project. For that, I had to find a full-time internship at the company. So I was looking around the Netherlands, different Dutch companies, and I found one Dutch company, which was called Philips. You might have heard about it. So, but I also heard from other people from different universities saying, oh, if you're going to try to apply to Philips, forget about it. It's almost impossible. The competition is too high. If you're going to apply through main sources, no, most likely your application not going to be even reviewed. But I also thought, okay, there was a student in the past from our program who already graduated from Philips. So I contacted my school supervisor asking, is there still connection with Philips? Is there any way I can somehow reach those guys? What turned out to be, Philips has many unlisted projects that students can just come and pick up. So they will be very welcome to give those projects to very enthusiastic people. So at the end, after a couple interviews, I was hired to the male grooming department to work on a machine learning project to analyze the skin irritation after shaving. It's also, I think, the only place in the world where if you forgot to shave before your work, no problem, you're going to be used for some student test. But there I learned the second lesson. If you're not going to ask, then no one will offer. So sometimes just be brave and ask. We have a whole professional networking event there. Just come and ask. The third story is about how I leveraged my long-term networking investment. So I was around second year in university when one of our teachers has announced, this teacher has announced that he is quitting and he's moving to California to start his new career. And to start his new career at Apple. Wow. I have to have the guy in my network that works at Apple. And guess what? No, I didn't go to work at Apple, but he returned after several years and started to work in a big global medical tech company. And by the time I was graduating from my master's and looking for next steps in my career. So, and simply because of our initial connection, it was way easier for me to restart this connection and ask him, is there anything for me maybe in this company? So as a result, I was hired in the innovation department to work on a state-of-the-art deep learning project. There, I also learned a third question. So professional networking is like investment. Consistency is the key, and it will pay off in the long term. So as you can see, series of correct and sometimes lucky connections resulted not only in building this strong professional network, but also to find something that I'm truly passionate about, artificial intelligence. So, of course, my logical next step would be to find a job where I could continue to expand my network, I could leverage my soft skills, I could help people, and all together with using my new passion to AI. So I started to work as AI consultant in a fast-growing tech company on the north of the Netherlands. Together with my colleagues, we are now we're building custom AI solutions for clients all over the world. What we also do, we do the personalized trainings, workshops, assessments for those companies, pretty much educating people about AI. And despite the fact that our clients are all over from the world, they have different cultures, different fields, they share one common thing, is the resistance to change. It's quite natural for us human beings to do. When something comes in life that dramatically changes the way we do certain things, we don't like it. We quite often afraid of those rapid changes. I really believe that people in marketing departments may be worried that they will no longer need their copywriting or design skills. And also, let's look at educational system. They now brainstorming how to evaluate students' knowledge once again. But nevertheless, it's becoming quite clear that AI instruments are soon going to be an essential part of everyone's professional toolbox. And it's going to be our choice whether we're going to use it or not. But once Paul Doherty, the CTO of Accenture, said, the playing field is poised to become a lot more competitive, and the businesses that do not deploy data and AI in innovating everything they do will be at disadvantage. Well, he might be right, because let's look at another technological development that in the past had similar resistance from mankind. Remember the first days of internet? Well, take a look.
I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I
mean? There's a difference.
There is a difference.
It's not a huge difference.
What is the difference?
But you can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
Right.
Too.
Oh, I see. So it's stored in one of your memory deals,
exactly.
And then you can come
That's
back
the
a year
RAM
later.
thing you talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do tape recorders ring a bell?
Well, of course, it was the joke about the radio and tape recorders, but it shows again that sometimes in the beginning it's quite unclear why do we need to have this change. And so, but many years afterwards, we can't deny that we like internet and we want to know more about the internet because it brings a lot of business potential. It helps us to simply connect with those who truly matter. Because when I moved to the Netherlands, I left my family, friends, my girlfriend behind. And because of the internet, or thanks to the internet, I made this very difficult step for myself a bit easier. And so I also think that now the same thing happening once again, but this time with artificial intelligence. So, and I think that even if you are not AI consultants as I am, I still believe it's quite important for you to stay aware about what is going on in this artificial intelligence world. So, because we also often say that to our clients, that to whom we're doing the workshops, we're not trying to immediately convince, hey, stop everything you do, and then now only do it with AI. No, sometimes we see if the clients are not ready, we're just trying to educate them, because learning about AI can help you to become a bit more critical thinking. Nowadays, there is so many AI-generated content online, And knowing what is possible and what is not possible to do with AI going to help you to become more analytical and make a bit more detailed decisions about things. It's also going to allow you to have to unlock those hidden economical potentials. Maybe you don't want to do this manual job anymore, and then you can use these smart instruments to automate it, or maybe your employees can do that, and you can save some time, money, and resources. And then, of course, skill development. Learning about AI can also help you to develop your general skill. It's skill in art, skill in photography, music, you name it. Now, with using these smart instruments, smart AI instruments, you can achieve your result way faster. Apart from educating people during trainings and workshops, I also try to stay active in the AI community. So I'm joining different conferences, podcasts, different meetups, and there I meet with people that are also passionate, enthusiastic about AI, but they are from different fields. So I learned how AI can help people in different fields like diagnostics, maybe logistics, finances. And then I thought, okay, also I'm the one who's helping those clients to integrate that. So I thought, why can't I help myself and use AI for professional networking? Actually, I can, because one example I wanted to show you today, one task of professional networking where you could apply AI already today is personal branding. With personal branding, imagine I would like to become an recognizable AI person in the AI community. So what I could do, I could become a bit more active in the social media, on LinkedIn, posting different interesting content related to AI, tutorials, maybe some fun facts, even jokes. And also, for example, I could make my knowledge available not only for people who speak English, but also for people who speak other languages. So how would I do that? You most likely heard about such thing as ChatGPT. So some of you might have already used it. But here's an example. So simply by giving a clean instruction of what I want to create, I can actually at the end receive a well-written, structured LinkedIn post with a joke inside, which is actually quite funny. At the end, I can fine-tune the output, make it the vocabulary complexity a bit different depends on the audience or that is listening for me. I also always put that it's 100% of this post was generated by AI so that no one sues me anything. And then now with the latest update, I can also generate images. So how cool is that? Within a couple of minutes, I can really post a little fun joke online that people may enjoy. Of course, don't do what I did here because I didn't do any editing. So you always have to proofread and make sure that the information there is legit. So that's only for demonstration purposes. But I also said about translating my content to different languages. Of course, with textual content, it's a bit easier. I can ask ChatGPT, can you write it in Spanish, please? And what about if my content is a video? How would I do that? Well, there's already different tools where I can just pretty much with the click of a button become very fluent in French, Spanish, Chinese, you name it. So here you go.
Now, let's talk about the history of AI. L'IA est relativement nouvelle. Les premières expériences avec l'intelligence artificielle ont eu lieu à l'Université de Manchester en 1951. Ese fue el año en que se creó el primer algoritmo para il juego de las damas. L'anno 1966 è stato sviluppato il primo chatbot di sempre chiamato Eliza, o come possiamo chiamarlo oggi, la nonna della moderna città. Später, im Jahr 1988, das war das Jahr, in dem KI verwendet wurde, Texte von Englisch nach Französisch zu übersetzen. 这是有史以来的第一次尝试。然后在97年，或者正如家里卡斯帕尔吉德的那样，作为他职业生涯中的黑暗年份。वह वर्ष था जब AI ने शतरंज के खेल में गैरी कस्पर को हराया, जिससे शतरंज खेलने के तरीके में बदलाव आया।
So as you can see, I can already use AI already today, and there is of course other tasks of professional networking that can be automated also using AI. I'm talking about creating draft emails, maybe sorting emails, recommending different conferences, recommending people for you to meet with. I don't know, transcripting the meetings that you're having one-on-one with someone. So there's pretty much, opportunities are limitless. And also, because of this high boom, everyone is talking about AI, it's also becoming quite easy for you to try and go and try different, even free services to implement AI. And of course, if you're struggling, you always know to whom to come with, so I can always help you. And so basically, what I wanted to say with all this presentation, so that we are entering in the era where AI is very much involved in our daily lives, and we see both opportunities and challenges. And with that note, I wanted to show you once again the video that I showed you earlier, but like a different fragment. So
The end of time.
Mostly what we're working on now is the computer being a tool to help us learn or find other people with the same interests. Eventually, we may figure out how to make the computer think, but that turns out to be a very tough problem. In fact, there's been almost no progress made on it. So nobody knows when that'll happen. Some people think it'll never happen.
Yeah, we don't want them to think, do we? Not really, I
Well,
wouldn't think.
it's a scary thought.
Yeah. It's too bad there's no money in this, too, isn't it? It's a shame.
well, the video was a bit lagging, so maybe I can improve it with AI next time. But so as you can see, some time ago we thought that only people can be creative, but now we see that AI can be creative too. Also, some time ago we thought that, like, some people thought that it will take us way more time to come to the moment of AI development where we are currently, but we are here. And so I truly believe that some people may be afraid that AI is going to replace their jobs and take away their positions, but let's be realistic. And it's been proven many times throughout the history that these major technological developments quite often create more jobs than it takes out. And at the end, AI is very good in performing a task. And your jobs, like my job, your jobs, consist of many tasks. It's not only one task. So at the end of this presentation, I would like to remind you one lesson that I told you earlier today, because I think it's quite applicable for AI too. So be ready, be polite, and be open to new encounters, even if it's AI, as you don't know how significantly it can impact your life. Thank you.